Hey, so picture this. A crowded courtroom in downtown Chicago, all eyes on a tech mogul, Richard Hayes, drowning in a $50 million fraud case. His fancy lawyers nowhere to be found, probably sipping martinis in some offshore villa. Poof, gone. And then, out of nowhere, a voice cuts through the chatter, sharp, steady, like a knife through butter. I'll defend him. Every head snaps around, and there she is, Lena Carter, 26, standing at the back in a faded denim jacket, her diner waitress apron still tied on, clutching a beat-up notebook like it's her lifeline. The room erupts in snickers. Who's she? The coffee girl. But Lena doesn't blink, doesn't waver, just steps forward, her boots echoing on the marble floor like a challenge. I'm Lena, and yeah, I'm not a lawyer, never got the degree, had to drop out of Northwestern law when my mom's medical bills piled up, but I've been studying this case for months. Every contract, every shady email, every dollar that moved through Hayes' company, Apex Innovations. I was their part-time cleaner, mopping floors at their swanky office. But at night, I'd sit in my tiny South Side apartment, poring over legal briefs by the light of a flickering lamp, piecing together a puzzle nobody else bothered to touch. Richard Hayes, the guy in the $3,000 suit at the defendant's table, glares at me like I just spilled ketchup on his tie. You're gonna save me? He scoffs, loud enough for the gallery to chuckle. Go back to wiping tables, kid. Ouch, right? But I lean in, voice low. Mr. Hayes, I know who's framing you, and I'm the only one here not trying to bury you. The judge, this grizzled old guy with glasses perched on his nose, raises an eyebrow. Miss Carter, you're not licensed. I nod. True, Your Honor, but I've read every page of this case, every SEC filing, every deposition, and I can prove this lawsuit from Vertex Solutions is a setup. The prosecutor, Claire Morgan, all sharp cheekbones and sharper attitude, rolls her eyes. This is a circus, not a courtroom. But the judge waves her off. Let's hear her out for now. And just like that, I'm at the defense table, my notebook open, pages dog-eared and highlighted, staring down a room full of suits who think I'm a joke. Here's the deal. Richard's company was accused of faking contracts to siphon millions, but I'd seen the real contracts, the ones Vertex claimed were forged, tucked away in a locked drawer I wasn't supposed to open while cleaning. They were signed from an IP address in London, not Chicago, and the timestamps didn't add up. I lay it out in court, slow and clear. On April 8th last year, Vertex sent a revised partnership deal to Apex, but the metadata shows it was edited after Richard signed it by someone at Vertex's London office. Claire's smirk fades, and the gallery goes quiet, like they're finally listening. I pull out a highlighted page. This SEC filing from 2 weeks earlier proves the original terms were valid, so if anyone's forging, it's not my client. The judge leans forward, pen tapping, and calls a recess to review. I'm shaking inside, but I don't let it show not when Claire mutters, "Nice try, waitress," as she passes by. That night, back in my apartment, with the hum of the L train outside, I'm digging deeper, cross-referencing emails I'd photographed from Richard's office. Something's off. The wording in the revised contracts feels foreign, like it was written by someone who learned law in a different country. Then my phone buzzes, an unknown number. "You're stirring up trouble, Lena," a gravelly voice says. "Back off, or you'll regret it." My heart's pounding, but I've grown up dodging worse threats in my neighborhood. I whisper, "Bring it," and hang up, but my hands are shaking as I hide my notes in a shoebox under my bed. Next day, I track down a lead, a former Apex assistant, Greg Voss, who quit right before the lawsuit. I find his old co-working space in Logan Square, papers scattered, a coffee-stained desk, and a folder with 2 versions of the same contract, one stamped London, one Chicago. Jackpot. In court, I drop the bomb. These contracts came from Greg Voss's desk, and they tie directly to Vertex's general counsel, Nathan Pierce, who's been pushing this lawsuit to tank Apex and steal their assets. Claire objects, her voice sharp. "This is speculation," but I hand over a forensic report, verified by a third-party tech firm. "Your Honor." The judge's eyes narrow. "This suggests conspiracy." Richard looks at me, not with a scowl this time, but something like respect. "The threats don't stop." A note slid under my door. "You're done if you keep going." But I'm past fear now. fueled by the fire of being underestimated my whole life. I meet with a friend, Jamal, a reporter at a small Chicago paper, who digs up dirt on Pierce. He's got ties to offshore firms known for rigging contracts. We're building a case, but I'm sleeping with one eye open, my notes backed up on 3 drives, one hidden in my mom's freezer. The final hearing's electric, the room packed, reporters scribbling. I present a bombshell, an email from Pierce to Vertex's board, planning to break Hayes with legal pressure. Then a witness, Sarah, a junior Vertex employee, steps up, trembling. I saw them change the contract dates. They wanted Richard ruined. The judge slams his gavel, dismissing the case and referring Vertex for fraud charges. Outside, Richard grabs my arm. You didn't just save me. Lena, you broke their game. I shrug. I didn't do it for you. I did it for everyone they thought they could crush. A year later, I'm not cleaning floors anymore. I started the Workers' Justice Network, helping people like Mebus drivers, cashiers, cleaners fight back with free legal aid. Standing at a community center in Englewood, I tell a crowd, justice isn't in fancy offices, it's in us, in our stories, in our refusal to stay quiet. They clap, not for a hero, but for one of their own. Later, at my old diner, a kid in a hoodie hands me a letter from a teacher who says I inspired her to study law. I smile, but the fight's not over. Power doesn't like losing, and I'm still watching my back. So what do you think? Is justice worth the cost when the system's built to silence you? Drop a comment. Share your take. Have you ever had to stand up when no one else would? Let's talk.